Hi, I'm Laura Maniec. I'm really excited about this week's pack. It's unbelievable. It's wines to go with takeout food. And I think you're really gonna love it. I do. If you're into not wanting to go out for dinner and wanting to stay home, either have company and order takeout food or just want one bottle with your Thai food, I think this is gonna be amazing for you. It's a great opportunity to try, 4 completely different styles of wine. So, Torrontés, you may have heard of it, maybe you haven't heard of it, but it's Argentine's superstar. It's such an incredible exotic and tropical wine that it makes all of your Indian food, Thai food, Mexican food, any food that has intense flavor and aroma, it's just gonna shine with that. I have a Pinot Gris, which is from Oregon. I'm really excited about showing Pinot Grigio, which is the same grape, but maybe just from a different place. And Pinot Gris is so naturally neutral and citrusy that it's really great with any kind of spicy food. So again, like some of the ethnic cuisines and takeout, but also really, really good with anything salty. So if you have fries and you just want something refreshing to clean your palate, this Pinot Gris is perfect. I love the idea of burgers and big, rich, steak-based takeout food. So think about like a Philly cheesesteak or something that has a ton of flavor with Bordeaux. And I'm really excited to show the Saint Emilion, which is slightly softer of tannin in Bordeaux for you. Also with like pasta or bolognese and meat-based sauces. It's a really an amazing wine. And then I don't think you could talk about takeout food without Italian food. And I have this saying that what grows together goes together. So I'm really pumped to show you this Morellino di Scansano. It's basically like a super Tuscan. You might not have heard of the region, but you're gonna wanna keep drinking this wine going forward. So our first wine is Bodega Salentine. It's Torrontés from the Uco Valley in Argentina. And Uco Valley is part of Mendoza. I love Torrontés because it's like smelling flowers, and it's incredible that very few grapes are this floral. So I guess for starters, the site, it's a white wine. It's pretty golden straw, but more of the light golden straw. There's like these tiny little bubbles, which are nice. It's a refreshing look, but it's not a sparkling wine. It's just like this little bubbles to keep it fresh. But I think the nose is where you want to spend all of your time thinking about this wine. And it's exotic. Passion fruit, papaya, guava, all of these like really incredibly like explosive aromas. So this is not a neutral wine. Whether you like it or not, you're just gonna be able to smell for the first time like, oh, get it, I got it. And flowers are just exploding. So yellow flowers, white flowers, dried and fresh. And again, sometimes you're like, okay, I really like the smell, but you might not like the taste. The best part about this wine, which you'll see, I guess I'll see too, is that it tastes not like flowers. So you want to keep smelling it because the taste is not floral or soapy or anything like that. There's no oak on this wine, so it doesn't have that creamy, rich flavor on the finish. And it goes really, really well with any exotic food. I just want ceviche with shrimp and papaya, mango, because it's pretty much what this wine tastes like. And that refreshing finish of like lip smacking acidity makes it really good with sushi or California rolls or anything like that. Wine number 2 is Seven Hills Pinot Gris. It's from Oregon. It's really, really one of my favorite grapes. Pinot Gris is the same grape as Pinot Grigio, and a lot of people find that Pinot Grigio is the first wine they've ever had. Not many people, but maybe some of you know that Pinot Gris and Pinot Grigio are the exact same thing. And what's really cool about Pinot Gris, if you're ever looking at the color, is it's gray. It's like this copper pinkish tone. And I love that color because it just reminds me I'm drinking this Pinot Grigio grape. So this wine is somewhat neutral in the nose. That means it doesn't have an explosive, completely overwhelming aroma. It's more on the subtle side of things, like lemon, lime, orange zest, some green apple and red apple. There's not a lot of floral tones. There's not a ton of, mushroom or earth. So I think one of the best parts about Pinot Gris is what it's not. You know, Pinot Gris, Pinot Grigio, it's such a neutral grape that it doesn't smell like flowers or cream or oak or mushrooms. It's almost like it smells like nothing, and that's what I love about it, because it's so good to pair with more simple, more delicate things in food. On the taste though, the wine does have a lot of flavor, and much more than like your average Pinot Grigio from Italy. It's good. It's like almonds, lemon, lime, peaches. I find that this wine is going to be really good when we have very subtle takeout food. So anytime you're having sashimi or sushi that's really, really delicate, you don't want a big flavored wine to overwhelm that. Even if you're just like popcorn or French fries and you just want something really refreshing and acidic, just cut through the salt, it would be really good with this Pinot Gris. Our third wine is the Saint Emilion. Saint Emilion is a wine region in Bordeaux, and the grapes are Merlot and Cabernet. So Bordeaux is this famous region. It's so famous, and a lot of people collect Bordeaux, but I really wanted to make Bordeaux approachable and to pick a Merlot-based wine that is a little softer in tannins, so we'll get into it. But Grand Moulin Macin is the name of the producer. It's a 2014, and it's a classic claret color. Sometimes you hear people say that. It just means it's that ruby, slightly orange tone. And then at the same time, it's pretty deep. It's about medium in terms of its opacity or ability to read through it. And the nose is very much a Bordeaux nose. It's red plums, black cherry, has a distinct earthy quality to it, almost like walking through a forest, or like this mushroom, wet leaves, cedar, cigar box. At the same time, it has this vanilla spice and clove that just make you kind of want to keep going back and smelling it. So I haven't even tasted it yet because I'm just too busy smelling. It's really good. The fruit is more restrained than, you know, let's say a Napa Cab. So it's not going to be big and blockbuster in style. And again, that's something that is the quality you want in a wine like this, because the subtle black cherry and smoke and cigar and cedar, they really lend themselves well to pair with takeout food. I'm thinking that this would be the perfect wine for a burger, like nice medium rare burger. This wine is enough tannin to cut through some of the fat if you have a really good cut of meat. But at the same time, you don't absolutely need a big age-worthy wine. If you're just having takeout food, it should be more casual and fun. So this wine, burgers, and pasta with meat sauce, it would be perfect. Our fourth wine is Guada al Mare. It's taking a trip to Tuscany via the glass here. So the grape is Sangiovese, and you find Sangiovese is the most important red grape in all of Tuscany. It has so many different names because of a local Italian dialect. So in this case, Sangiovese is called Morellino. So Morellino is from the town of Scansano, and it's on the Tuscan coast in the Maremma. So this red wine is a little bit more kind of garnet in color. Sangiovese tends to have like this orange hue. It's as well, like you can kind of read through it. It's not super thick or dark or opaque. And the nose is a classic Italian nose. It smells like a tomato sauce, like a stewed tomato, orange rind, tarragon, oregano. It has a little bit of like fresh basil, but really the fruit, if there's a lot of fruit, it's more on the red spectrum. So like red cherries and red raspberries and sour fruit. I love Italian red wine in general because it's so perfect for food. It just screams like, give me food. Italian wines, as a rule, usually have a lot of acidity and a lot of tannin, and they're perfect. Anytime you cook with acidity, or you have like vinegar-based sauces or things that have a lot of lemon, you really need your wine to be equally acidic. We don't really talk about acidity like as a term. It's more of like my internal monologue saying, we would say tart, refreshing, sour, crisp. So in this case, the acidity will match with acidity in sauce in takeout food, and the tannin, which is that drying sensation in your mouth, that's what's going to cut through fat. So immediately I think yeah, of course we could have a takeout delivery of like a porterhouse, but that's probably not likely. So instead, I want to just like think about pizza with sausage, or like pasta with bolognese, and all of those things will be perfect with this Merlino. I hope you enjoyed this pack this week. Feel free to drop me a line, let me know what your favorite pairings were and what you ate and drank with these wines. And don't forget, there's a lot of BYOB places, so the next time you're going out to dinner, you can always grab one of these bottles and bring it to your favorite takeout style food place.